Hi, welcome to PlayableGuitar.com. Okay, this video is for you guys who've never picked up a guitar before, don't have a clue, don't know what to do. So the first thing you want to do is realize, go on the website or anywhere online and look for the parts of a guitar so you can get your basic orientation about what a guitar is. Just quickly, think of the human body. You've got a head, you've got a neck, and this is the same for all guitars. I've got a ton of guitars around here. Here's another one. Look, it's quite different, but it's still got a head. It's heavy. A head, a neck, a body. This is called the nut and the bridge, front or belly, lots of names, ribs or sides, back, pretty straightforward stuff. Okay, so you want to get to know the names of the strings, but you want to see the fat string and the thin string are different pitches. It's all on the website, but basically we're looking about, well, how do you hold this thing? What do you do with it first? Now, there's lots of different ways. We'll go into the different sitting postures, but one of the first things you can do is you can get your hand in a way that is developing a sense of a useful posture for your hands to use a guitar. And one of the best ways I found to do that is with this thing I call the pencil trick, or the pencil neck. And it's just a way of getting you used to holding your fingers and thumb in the right place. So have a go at that. Once you get the idea of holding the pencil in the right way, and you've got your guitar, and you've got your thumb in the middle of the neck, you imagine a line down the center of the neck here, and you don't want your thumb to go over here. You want your thumb in the middle of that line, basically. You want to try to be able to just enough. If it's an electric guitar, you might just want to be able to tug on it and see what it feels like. This classical nylon string guitar, quite light by nature, I can pick it up off the ground because I'm just using my thumb and my fingers to do that. You want your fingers lined up sort of in the middle of the fretboard. You're not trying to hold on to strings or grab anything here. You're just getting the feel of keeping your thumb back and meeting the tips of your fingers with the neck in between. Once you do that, you pick it up and put it on your lap. Now you could, again, we'll go into different sitting postures, but a common and normal sitting posture, if you're not strictly a traditional classical student, is with the right leg like this. This is usually for steel string guitars, which have bigger bodies and are less apt to be comfortable to sit on the left leg. This is a good classical posture. It gives you access to the entire fretboard. You'd normally have a footstool. Again, we'll go into details on other postures. But they're just different sitting styles. You can sit cross-legged. This is fine. A lot of flamenco guys will hold the guitar with the bout between the leg and the arm like this and play this way. So it's whatever's comfortable, but we're looking at this general left-hand posture. So the way you'd pick something up and hold it with your thumb and fingers, whether that be a pencil or a piece of paper, whatever, is a good posture to do. When you're pressing on strings, you want to be right next to the fret, next to it so that the fret is on the sound hole side and your fingers just beyond it on the nut side. If you get right close to the fret, close as you can without touching it, say, and you use the tip of your finger, you don't have to put a lot of pressure. The object is not to push the string down onto the wood. The object is to push the string down till the bottom of the string diameter hits the top of the crown of the fret. These are the frets. Again, look up the parts of the guitar on the website or the internet anywhere or a book. And that's all it takes. I'm not squeezing particularly hard. I'm leaning on that fret. And I'm getting a pitch. If I move backwards, I'm not going to get so much. I would really have to squeeze hard to make that work. But the same kind of pressure, moving toward the fret, I'm going to get a sound. And what you want to do is just try that at random on various strings, various fingers. If you look down and you see your hand doing something like this, or like that, or like this, or if you feel your shoulder tightening up, it's just drop your arm to your side, bring the weight of your arm, keep the body of the guitar, keep the guitar more or less parallel to your body. You're at 90 degrees to the front of you. Get so you can hold on to it and let go of it with your left hand, and then just bring the weight of your arm up until your hand meets the fretboard and adjust it so that you again have your thumb and fingers opposing, and the thumb more or less in the middle of the neck. Every knuckle of your fingers bent, and the tips of your fingers aiming for the fretboard. Just try moving around, keeping relaxed. Don't worry about playing anything. And then now and again, just try and make a note. Nice and relaxed. You can use anything you want on this side to do that. Your thumb, pluck it with a finger. If you have a pick, you could do that. But you're just trying to get the feel for, how do I hold this thing? What do I do with my hands? And develop a good habit. Our instinct is to grip. If you grip a lot, you're going to get stuck in that. And then you won't be able to reach bigger stretches, because the feeling of having your hand lined up in that way will be foreign to you. And that habit, it seems to me, a really difficult one to break for people. So try to avoid that. We will use this posture for things, but this is natural. We want to grip things, you know, in that way. But we only want to pick up dainty things with our thumb and fingers. So this is the posture you want, like it's a dainty little feather or something that you're picking up, you know, coin, and you're putting this big hefty thing in that place where you'd expect a big hefty grip. But what you want to do is try and maintain that delicate movement. It's not about strength, it's about control. You could balance a bag of sugar on this thumb if it's locked and all this bone chain is locked, and it would just be control muscles balancing that weight. It's not strength that's keeping that thing lined up like that. So that's more important. The hard part about guitar is learning to open your fingers. A little dog could bite my finger clean off, but a 5-year-old child could hold a little dog's jaw shut, and a human can hold an alligator's jaw shut, for instance, and so forth. Our jaws, you know, our fists, these are meant to contract. They're not meant to open in the way that we want them to get the kind of movements we want for guitar, so that things that seem like a lot of strength is needed, is really, it's about being able to pick your hand up. So it's about posture and control muscles. There really isn't a lot of muscle in your hand anyway. The muscles that are controlling are up here, and they're controlling tendons and ligaments down here. So we'll get into more detail, but to start, this is the idea, that you look at the pencil trick and that you grab your guitar, whether your posture is favoring to be left leg style or whether your posture is favoring to be right leg style, that you're thinking of your hand as having real control with this kind of delicate and control posture rather than a strength and gripping sort of concept. Okay, so I hope that helps. If in doubt, just take your thumb and fingers, and if you got a light classical guitar, pick it up off the ground like that with your thumb and your fingers, and then put it on your lap without changing your posture. Don't do this. Don't put it on your lap like that right after you just got set up with your thumb and fingers this way. Okay? Thumbs going back like that, which is, to me, that's kind of death as soon as I see people do that. You know, you can't really do much. You know, you wouldn't pick something up that way normally. It's just basically trying to keep a little bit of awareness of your opposing thumb and fingers. And it's not about squeezing and gripping. A lot about guitar is the ability to open your hand. Squeezing and strength isn't really as important as being able to open your hand. Okay. See you next time.